What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Grid Penalty, the Formula One podcast for everybody. My name's Brent Gill. With me, as always, is my man, Jeff Tice.
Yes.
We got a big episode for you today. We always have big episodes, but today, here's what we're talking about. Honda might be going back to McLaren, MBS, and the weird life of MBS. Also, car announcements, and we're going to talk about some young drivers that we are excited about for the 2023 season. But before we get there, we're going to do what we always do, and I'm not talking about eating queso. We're going to get plugged.
Let's get queso plugged.
I feel like that's such an old man joke, by the way, of like, geez, it plugs you up.
Hey, we were talking about how old we are. We're sitting here. We got heating pads.
I got a heating pad on my back right now. It's very embarrassing.
It's good. You play a lot of golf. I would just chalk it up to, you got a lot of swing issues. You're trying to get your back in.
That's true.
In order.
And I got a 4-day tournament this at the end of this month, so I'm like trying to get my back in tip-top shape.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's get plugged up. You can find me at Jeffrey Tice on all social media. As always, GeoffreyTice.
Jeff the wrong way.
Follow me. Jeff the wrong way. It's just Jeff the wrong way. That's all it is. And then I have shows coming up. I have one big show that I'm going to be plugging a lot. It's March 9th, headlining Comedy Works in Denver, Colorado, downtown at the 15th and Larimer location. So come to that. Hit me up in the DMs if you want a special promo code. It's going to be a great show. We're going to do a book launch party of the 11 Evelyns, the kids' book that I also just came out with. So if you have little ones and you're trying to just read to them, if you're trying to read to your child, if you want to have a future relationship with your child, buy this book. That's where this goes. But yeah, it's on Amazon. You can check that out. Let's say also you're on Amazon and you're just like around Amazon and you're searching and you're like, man, this site is not funny at all. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to close out of Amazon. And you're going to want to get in your car, and you're going to want to drive to...
I didn't see this coming.
The Jeffco Municipal Airport. You're going to park there. You're going to hop in a Chinese spy balloon, and you're going to fly all the way down Highway 36 in Colorado, Brimfield, Colorado. You're going to land in Boulder. You're going to fly over, maybe get some Chinese data on Vacuums R Us or the Coyote Cleaners.
Yeah.
And, it's all government fronts. We know this. And then you're going to have an F-22 shoot a missile directly into your spy balloon, and that should drop you down roughly in the area of It's All Greek to Me food truck. And you're going to then walk into the Rayback Collective for the Boulder Comedy Show every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Stop on by. It's the best show in the world. No spy balloon can hold you back. So that's it. Brent, where can the good people find you?
That's a pretty good description, Jeff. I'm excited about that. Hopefully your balloon doesn't get shot down by the Canadian government.
True.
Who for sure asked us to shoot that balloon down.
100%.
I don't know if you knew this. There's another balloon over Canada, right?
Yes.
And then
there's
the Canadian
there's
government.
Another one.
Wait, there's another one?
Yeah. I think there's another UFO in China, but they don't know. China reported that there's another UFO flying around their airspace, and then another one over here.
China for sure launched that just to cover their tracks. They're just like they're like, oh shit, no, we got one too. Yeah. We got one too. It's weird. Yeah. I will be telling jokes this month, which is really fun. You can catch me telling jokes. I lost my place on the notes. Got it. You can you can find me telling jokes. If you're listening to this when it comes out, you can find me tomorrow, Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. Shortest month, hardest one to spell. At the Comedy Works South with a couple of my really good friends. Derek Stroop will be there. Someone else will be there. I can't remember. And me. And then you can find me on Friday, the 17th of February at High Note Comedy at the Skylark Lounge. We're bringing in Katrina Davis. Excited to have her.
Ooh,
and then
great.
Friday, February 23rd, you can catch me at Chiba Hut in Riverside, California. We are
just eating lunch,
just hanging out, chilling, eating some lunch. No, we're doing I'm doing a Chiba Hut tour this year, and so we're doing.
I love
it's that. It's spot on for me. It's very on brand, and so we're doing a trial run at this one to
Yes.
figure out what the kinks are with closing down the restaurant, getting food orders to go, and all that kind of stuff. So, so that's going to be. I mean, my comedy ain't going to be a trial by run. It's going to be perfect. So there's going to be a
Hey, we
DJ.
know.
I'm going to be there, and I'm going to have a couple local comics from Riverside out there. None of which I'm currently sleeping with, and the.
Hell yeah.
Why did I say that?
It's a good start.
Why did
to
I
all
say
shows.
that, dude? I don't know why I said that. And then it'll be from 7 to 10. Comedy will be from 8 to 9:30. And it's gonna be a really good time. So more details to come on that as it comes out. And then shout out to our producer, Kat Orlean. You can follow her at KO Recording. She's doing a lot of cool things on her Instagram there, of which her band, the Moonshine Daredevils, Vroom Vroom, Glug Glug, the Copper Tone Booze Hounds. She probably hates that we're doing this. She's going to be playing on Friday, February 24th. Did I have my dates wrong? Because it's the same... I'm an idiot. Did I get my date wrong? I'm a moron. So Friday, February 24th, I'll be at Chiba Hut, and she'll be in Monrovia. This is bad. This is...
You guys are close.
We are very
You guys
close.
are close.
Maybe we can hang out with each other, because hers starts at 9. I'll
Yeah.
be done by 9:30. So anyway, check out the Moonshine Daredevils at the Poorhouse in Monrovia on Friday, February 24th.
Yes.
And she'll be there. Also, shout out to our video editor, Jan at Points in a Williams.
Shout out.
I love her name because I like someone that names their Instagram handle after the impossible. You know, like I really like that a lot.
It's so aspirational. It's so good.
And dude, do check us out on YouTube and Instagram. We are putting our full episodes up on YouTube. We're putting up clips on Instagram at Grid Penalty F1. So please follow us there. And thank you, Jan, for putting out these great videos for us. We really appreciate
Jan
it.
rules.
She does. So that's all for plugs. Let's catch up a little bit. Jeff, how you been, dog? You been good?
Dude, so good. I had a wild week, and by a wild week, I mean the most domestic week of all time. We are...
to me, that sounds like a
it's
wild
so
week.
funny.
Yeah.
A wild week is so fun to describe a wild week to you because I know how your wild weeks actually
They always
are,
have
and
cocaine in them somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
somehow. My wild week is literally like we're getting work done to our kitchen,
Oh, Jesus
and like
Christ.
we have to, we tore out our whole kitchen, and we're hanging out in the living room with a bunch of dishes, and it's good. We're super excited for it, but I've just been like trying to get work done with like just
Banging.
saws going
Yeah.
off, so much noise, and it's been great. But other than that, really nothing.
It's funny you waited
exciting.
until after your child was born to tear up your
Yes.
kitchen.
We truly had our dining room filled with cabinets waiting to be put
I
into
remember
the kitchen
that.
until the baby was born. So it's all good.
We got a lot of
we're
downtime.
we're putting her to work. She's figuring out how to put in some countertops, and she's learning. She's learning. She'll get
she's
there.
become very good with a jigsaw, so it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
She just last week learned to sit up straight, and this week she's learning to measure twice and cut once. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. It's going well. But yeah, and then nothing really crazy. Last night I did a show, the most Colorado show I've ever done in my life. It was in a rock climbing gym.
Okay,
And
there you
so,
go.
Yeah.
It's
when
either
I
rock
walked in, I
climbing
was
gym
like,
or a brewery. It's one of the two. Like those are
yes,
always
that's
gonna
all-
be.
You only get you get two options. I walked in and I was like, man, this is so Colorado. And then
And you're a rock climber.
I used to climb a lot. I don't anymore, but it really made me want to go again. But then I also just remembered like how like climbing gyms post COVID, like dude, so wild that everyone's just like touching everything and like it's sweaty. It's no different than just a regular gym in the equipment, but it just had that extra level of like, oh yeah, I forgot. Post pandemic, this is a wild place. This place like just hits a little differently. But then we also, the best part, you know how comedy works. You want low ceilings, you want dim light, you want drinks flowing.
You know everything a climbing gym has.
Dude, we walk in and it's like I was like, I felt like a lizard under a heat lamp. It was just fluorescent lights. And then we had one spotlight, and I asked the host, who's a great comic, Ed Bell, I was like, hey man, is it cool? Like, can we turn these lights off? Just like, this is crazy. And the owner of the gym was like, it's one switch. like
Oh, wow.
one switch turns off every light and it turns on every light. I was like, how is this built like this? I was like, this is insane.
Illegally.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it was in like a warehouse park, and I was like, this is Denver's version of like the docks. This is where you go to like get rid of bodies. But Denver is so Denver, they're like, oh, we could put a climbing gym there.
Look, I had my Uncle Tony come in and wire this thing up, all right? It's one switch, but hey, it was $1,500, okay? $1,500.
That's it. It's a deal. That's exactly how it felt. So that's it. Just super, super lame weekend. But
was it a fun show?
Very fun. Show ruled. It was a Don't Tell show.
Those ruled.
And so, again, every Don't Tell show, the crowd's good. The crowd's always super hot and young. It's like weird to do comedy to like such good looking people all the time. Every Don't Tell show I've done has been like that. So great crowd, great show.
That seems really pretty normal for me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're like, I don't know. My fans are
It's
hot.
like telling jokes to myself. It's very, it's wild.
It's just a mirror, dude. It's just you practicing in the bathroom.
That's funny, man.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
What about you, man? How was did you do any cocaine?
I did. Thank God, dude. Thank God, no cocaine for me. Although it's funny you said that. It's weird to go to these climbing gyms post COVID because I was out in Brush, Colorado, where COVID never happened, according to them. So it was quite a different experience out there, but it was fun. It was very fun. I had a blast out there doing it. I always have fun out there doing those shows. But I'll say this: there was a guy on the second show who was like, he was there with his mom and his brother, and he wasn't a good heckler. Like, he wasn't constructive, but like, he also wasn't like actively trying to be an asshole. He was just that guy that wanted to respond to everything, where like you'd say a joke, you're like, well, actually it's really like this and that, and you're like, yeah, dude, I'm telling a fucking joke, bro, like, chill. And then he's like, I think Georgia was telling something about women playing golf, and he wanted to voice all of his opinions on it. And then they're like having a conversation, and I'm like, Moose, shut this fucking guy up, dude. This guy is putting me in a bad mood. As soon as I get on stage, it couldn't have been more than 90 seconds of me on stage, he starts talking to me. He's like, yeah, I almost got thrown out. I'm like, yeah, that's because I asked them to throw you out. You're pissing me off. Stop talking. Like, I just within 90 seconds, I'm yelling at a guy, which kind of set me off into like a weird vibe with the crowd. Yeah, but the crowd also was like, I mean, yeah, he does need to shut the fuck up. They didn't.
I get it. He is ruining the show.
And it's like, dog, I didn't write these jokes with you here. You know, like, you weren't here last night. I didn't need you to help me. It's fine. Thank you.
This isn't an interactive experience for everyone else.
So,
that sucks.
So that was annoying. But some fun stuff that's been going on is it's Valentine's Day. If you're listening to this on Monday, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow.
And figure it out.
Yeah. So I hope you made plans. My lady friend is staying at my house. I could call her my girlfriend if you want, but she's staying at my house.
I do want you.
I could call her her exact thing. She is my ex-girlfriend / current girlfriend. So nice. Daddy likes to go back.
Complicated.
So, but she stayed at my house while I'm out of town. And I was like, I'll surprise her. I'll get her some Valentine's Day flowers. That'll be nice. I'll get them delivered. She'll have to sign. It'll be a fun little thing because I'm not going to tell her I'm getting anything. And she asked, she goes, what are you getting me? And I'm like, because I said I have a package I need you to sign for. She goes, did you get me a Valentine's Day gift? And I'm like, no, it's a golf club. And so I just really, really pissed her off with that one. And so I'm looking up flower prices, and I like to get these bouquets delivered. When did flowers become the price of weed? Dog, it's cheaper to buy an ounce of weed than it is a bouquet of flowers, dude. It is fucking insane right now. Their arrangements are like starting. First of all, about 3 of the places I called, their minimum is $200 plus a delivery fee.
God.
And I'm like, I I don't like having to show my love on a monetary value. That pisses me off. Because you know how much fun we could have if we went to dinner for $200 or a show and dinner or something that I got to enjoy. I'm going to be out of town for the 4 days, 5 days after the flowers there. I don't even get to receive my credit for these flowers other than a phone call and a FaceTime, which my FaceTimes are fun. But it is... and then I was like, there was one I saw. It was 24 red roses, which I would not have bought because that's too lovey. But 24 red roses starting at $140. That's $70 a dozen. $70 a dozen, dude. I could get an ounce of weed in Colorado for $90 out the door.
That's what I was just gonna ask. How much is an ounce? $90.
$90 in California, where these flowers are being delivered. $250, $300 for an ounce.
Here's what you do. So you're gonna go out to some just like a field.
I love his plans.
California. This is your plan, and this is perfect. Then you're gonna just cut, like maybe you just get twigs. Get a bunch of random twigs. Let's say you get 24 twigs.
24 twigs, okay.
24 twigs. So you got 24, and then what you're gonna want to do is buy that ounce of weed. And then you're going to take all the little nuggets from that ounce of weed and just stack them like little kebabs. You're going to make little weed kebabs. And then tie that up nice with some twine in a nice little bouquet. And then probably don't have that delivered. But, yeah, leave that on the counter and be like, I got you this.
Deliver it to me from me. No, that one's for me, babe.
That's it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's still the Brent Gill show. That's my bad.
That's it.
So but thanks to Georgia Comstock, she was like, what you need to do is call them, be like, here's my budget. Can I get a designer's choice? That's what it's called. And then the designer just does it. And I made sure to do this on Monday. So they had all the fresh flowers still. Because if you do it on Tuesday, you get all the trash. Like, oh, you want designer's choice? Here's what's left over for the designer to use. Get a lot of carnations and fucking baby's breath, you know?
Yeah.
So
literal sticks and stems.
Yeah, exactly.
And like that's
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been annoying.
Nice.
The other thing that's been annoying, and this is the last thing I'll go over, is just a little update on my new race car that I'm building. And to clarify, it's going to be a daily. It's not like a true, like when you think race car, it's not a race car, but if I wanted it to be, it's got all the components of it.
If you're a cop listening to
then
this, it's not a race
it's a
car.
daily. I just don't want to put like a full roll cage in there because that's going to be weird to go on dates where they have to crawl into the car. And I'm like, this is going to be weird. But I'm making a video about the build of this because I'm going to start doing vlogs about this so I can write off the price of the car. But
perfect.
Jeff, this is the most stressful thing I've put myself through in a long time. I am having zero fun doing this.
Oh,
I'm having
really?
zero fun. I just want to be. There's too many fucking choices. Just like when I bought the Z3 with the LS1, it's like, here's the car. It's built. This is what you get. You fix what's broken, and that's it. Great, got it. This one, it's what do you want? I don't know. So now my price, which I am not going to divulge the price on this podcast because it's embarrassing. But the price is starting here, and he's because like they said, we're gonna build this E46 out, and I'm like, what's that gonna cost? This much? And they're like, yeah, actually, that's what the quote is.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And I was like, I knew it would because I've looked enough into this, and then. From there, it's like, well, what else do you want to do? We can add on this. We can add on this. We can add on this. We can add on. And I'm like, and now we've sanded it down. We're going to paint it Daytona Violet. And I'm like, which I'm so excited for. But then I told Christian Charpentier I was going to paint my car purple. And he goes, purple? I'm like, oh, no, did I make a bad decision? Oh, no. And like now I'm like freaking out about the wheels I have to buy. I've read the same goddamn Fitment article 17 times. I've called them in. Are these going to work? I don't want to spend $3,800 on wheels and tires. I found a set here that's pretty good, and it's driving me bananas, dude. And like I mean I can liken it to building a house, or I'm sure it's kind of like your kitchen where like when you go to do this, they're like, well, we have these cabinets which fit your price range. However, we can upgrade to this, or we can paint them this way.
You could get purple cabinets.
You could get handles that are this color instead of that color, and it's just an extra $1,400. Everything's an extra $1,000. There's nothing that's not a couple grand more. A couple grand. and I told them on video, I was like, I almost just want y'all to do it. Just you build it and I'll take what you build. Cause I can't decide on this.
Yep.
It's killing me.
I think a lot of people do that. They go, just make the decisions for me.
It's killing me because like, I'm paying you for your expertise. You find the wheels. You do all this shit. And they're like, well, we were going to keep the wheels on there. Well, here's an extra charge. Perfect. I can't wait to add that on there. So now I'm like, and then I'm buying a new steering wheel because I definitely want an M3 steering wheel.
Yes.
And there's no market for that in Colorado. So I bought one in California on Facebook Marketplace. I have to send my girlfriend to go pick it up. And I'm like, FaceTime me so I can look at it to make sure that it's represented well. Because she doesn't know what the fuck she's looking for. She doesn't even like cars.
Right. I was going to say, she's looking at it, and then when she finally gets there, you'd be like, Happy Valentine's Day. This is your present.
Your present is to drive to fucking Mesa, Arizona. No, it's in Brea. But
an errand.
Yeah. So it's, I mean,
nice.
I'm still very excited about it. I don't regret doing this. I mean, I have buyer's remorse for sure, but I don't regret doing this. But it's sucking the joy out of it when I have to make all these decisions because I don't know about the Holley engine management system, you know. But when they explain it to me, I'm like, that sounds good. And then I gotta go do 8 days of research on it, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. That's worth the $3,000 extra dollars. It's
sure, let's do it.
So anyway, that's all to say that if it's this hard to build my car, imagine how hard it is to build these Formula One cars. It's nuts. So let's get into it. So the biggest news I think for me for this week has to be that it was leaked or announced or whatever it is that Honda is talking about. Because they've said that they're done with Formula One, right? That they're not going to build motors anymore. And then Red Bull they announced that they're going to Ford. And then Honda was like, you know what? Fuck all that noise. We're going to go to McLaren. So McLaren is in talks right now with Honda for them to build their power unit. And I think that would be... I mean, it's not for sure. They're just in talks. They've initiated talks about it. It would be for 2026, of course. But... how do you think about that? Because they were with them for 3 years.
They were, yeah. In 2015 season to 2017, it was, and then famously we know now that McLaren is with Mercedes, and that relationship seems to be going well. It seems to be healthy and fine. I'm interested to see what happens with Honda, only because from what we know of McLaren and Honda, they severed that contract early to go because of Honda's performance and reliability. Then Honda goes to Red Bull, and we know the history there. They've won the last 2 years. The last
year, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Took me a second there.
I'll never let that go.
I don't think a lot of people are going to let that go. And that's just a quick little side note. It is really fun that we have some friends who are like slowly getting into Formula One more and more, either because of the podcast or just because we aggressively tell them to. And then inevitably I'll get a call or a text message that'll be like, hey man, the end of 2021 season, what the fuck is going on? And then you finally realize, like, you caught up. All right, you caught up.
That's what we've been talking about this whole time. That's what these inside jokes mean when we say Lewis Hamilton's an 8-time world champion.
Everyone's furious all the time. So, Honda was there to win those two. It obviously makes Honda look incredible. Their reliability has been super strong, which is a big part of it. And to me, this is probably just a leverage chip, like a bargaining chip that Zach Brown can use, that then also Honda can probably use against Red Bull. They can probably just find ways to use this politically to get the money up or down the way they want. I'm guessing, maybe this is totally off base, they've made their decision and they know what they're doing, and they know that they're going to move away from Mercedes, or they're going to renew with Mercedes and use this Honda kind of cloud to maybe leverage Mercedes to then get better deals that way. So just business to me.
Oh, okay. Which is right down Zach's alley.
Yeah, to me this is just business plays, it seems like.
Yeah.
All that to say, I would love to see Honda, as a McLaren fan, I would love to see Honda with McLaren, only because I kind of want McLaren to get out of the customer umbrella of Mercedes. It
Okay.
just seems like we've talked about you never really see customer teams competing with the manufacturing teams
Fair.
at that high level. So
Yep.
Honda doesn't have that political worry that they have to, fight with other teams or provide engines to other places. So as a McLaren fanboy, I would love to see that happen just because I've most recently, it's recency bias, I've seen Honda win.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's it.
Do you think that Honda would move towards? Do you think Honda would move towards being a customer manufacturer, like making motors for everybody instead of an exclusive deal? Because that would be interesting. Because we know Honda can do it, right? And we know that they have a pretty phenomenal, just their cars in general, like even their race cars. IndyCar, all that stuff. Honda is a great motor, and they're a good motor manufacturer. Do you think that might be on the forefront for them?
I wonder. I personally, no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
They seem to be comfortable with just like the one team, Red Bull. Like, I think to me, Honda's philosophy, and maybe this is all just my opinion, is that Honda wants to be. We just want to win with the team that we're involved in. They want to be with the Red Bull team, and then if that breaks down because of
Christian
Red Bull,
Horner.
I mean, honestly, yes. The way that I can't imagine going to Helmut Marko and being like, hey, like, let's strike a deal, and then he's just like sludge machine, like, here's what we're gonna do. And it's like, all right, man.
He's bubbling out of his mouth as he's talking.
I'm guessing there's Honda executives that are just as cutthroat and ridiculous as Helmut Marko. The problem is everyone just keeps giving Helmut Marko a microphone. That's the problem.
Yeah,
we don't have
Get
to
him
hear
out.
from these like shark business people, but. We'll see. I don't see Honda really going that route. I'm sure it's happened in the past, but I don't know if a manufacturer has done that where they just supply engines but don't actually have their own like flagship team outside of like Mercedes and like Ferrari.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm excited to see the moving around.
I mean, they do that in IndyCar. I don't think they have a team.
Yeah.
It's just them and Chevy that supply motors.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I kind of could see that happening because then like what I think Honda would want to do for the consumer end is show how dominant their motors are in all these different disciplines of motorsport.
Yep.
Right. So they have their motor in rally. They've got their motor in IndyCar. I don't think they're in NASCAR because they're probably not allowed because it's they're racist in NASCAR. But but I could see them. I could see them trying to push to be a customer motor and not have a team because then it's like, look, see how cheap this is. We don't have to have a team, which is a huge amount of money. Yeah. We don't have to hire all these people. We don't have to put all this shit together, but we can just give everybody motors and then show how good our motors are and then sell more NSXs,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So I could see that too.
Yeah, the ability to they're in such a good position because they just are coming off the heels of winning. And so to be able to leverage that into expanding, I could totally agree that like that could be an avenue to then just start flooding the grid with these engines and up their presence outside of just Red Bull or McLaren in the future. The other part is I'm always interested in what they're trying to do. It's kind of the Cadillac conversation we had. Are these brands, what are they like? What position are they jockeying for as a consumer at a consumer level? And exactly what you said. If they can sell more Honda Pilots, if they can sell more NSXs, if they can sell more Civics.
The new Integra's coming out.
Oh, really?
Like they're redoing the Integra.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That was the Integra in Fast and Furious. Is that the one? No, that was the Supra. Yeah, the Toyota Supra.
And they redid that one, and people love it. I don't love the new Supra, but I do love the new Z4, which is weird because they were built on the same. It was a collaboration car between Toyota and BMW. The new Supra, and the Z4 is the same car.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Weird.
wild.
Yeah.
Because BMW wanted their EV technology for other things, and Toyota wanted BMW's technology for other things, and their interior stuff for
got
other
it.
things as well. Yeah.
Got
so,
it. Yeah.
And it's a great car. My dad's got one. It's a fucking.
Oh.
It blows my mind how good this twin turbo 4-cylinder car is.
Yeah.
It is so insanely fun.
Is your dad a car guy?
My dad likes cars that are built for like nice cars.
Yeah.
He doesn't he would never do what I'm doing,
Totally.
like building a car out for sure. No, but he
Yeah.
had an S4 when I was in high school, like an Audi S4, which I snuck out and took off. I took all 4 wheels off the road for probably 28 feet. Like, I mean, it was such a dude. It was insane. So he has always had like roadsters and fun little BMWs, and he'll like chip them and make them faster. But that's about as far as he goes.
Got it.
Because he has them for like 3 years and trades them back in.
Got it. I don't know if I would be able to handle high school Brent. I don't know if that's a Brent that I could.
I don't know if my parents. I don't know how my parents were able to handle high school Brent, but these collaborate. I mean, what if though it was Honda McLaren? What if Honda bought into McLaren like Ford is buying into Red Bull, and like Ford originally bought into Jaguar, and it was Honda McLaren?
I mean,
that would be dope as fuck, dude.
I'm for that. That sounds great. I would love it. That does sound nice. I would love to see
Honda McLaren flow. It comes off the tongue well.
Yeah.
Honda McLaren.
And like have the big Honda logo across the back of the McLaren car. It looks so nice. It's big,
I don't know if they'll have
bold.
space with all those other sponsors, but yeah, I get the idea.
It's hard to fight with the Android logo, like the little the actual
Google Chrome ball.
logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. By then, hopefully, they will get that digital billboard to work on the car, and they can just spiral through.
I think, 2026 is shaping up to be pretty wild. I mean, Drive to Survive did such a good job at getting the world, and especially America, super interested in Formula One.
Yep.
And then now we got a possible Cadillac Andretti entry, so we might have an 11th team.
Yep.
We have, for sure, Ford is going in with Red Bull,
Yep.
which, by the way, I don't know if y'all knew this. If you watched the announcement of Red Bull and Ford, Ford's CEO is Jim Farley. That's his name, Jim Farley.
Yes.
Jim Farley is the uncle of Chris Farley, John Farley, and the other Farleys that y'all don't know. And Margie Farley as well as the oldest daughter. And it doesn't matter. Tommy Farley, and Kevin Farley, of course.
Yeah.
And so if you watch that video now, knowing that he's a Farley.
Yeah.
Hard Farley vibes coming out of that man.
Wild. I didn't know that. I didn't realize. I mean, watching him with the name and then like the mannerisms, I was like, wait, what? And then I hit you up and you're like, oh, yes. You're like, I just had dinner with the Farley family because you were on the road with David Spade.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening? I was like spinning. My head, it just didn't make sense. I was like, wait, he's the CEO? And then I was talking to a friend of the podcast, Kevin Owens, and we were talking about the Ford stuff, and he just knows so much detail. And then he was like, oh, by the way, have we talked about the Farley thing and how weird that is? And I was like, dude, we were supposed to talk about it last podcast, but we'll talk about it this podcast.
Yeah.
And I just was like, my head exploded. It didn't make sense to watch him be such a professional at the head of this massive motor company with this big partnership next to Horner. And then you're like 2 degrees away from wanting him to be like, in a van
down by the river.
It was so close.
In a Ford Transit down by the river.
Yeah, just always moving product. And so it was just a weird trip. And I'm sure a lot of people already knew that, but it was.
I don't know if they did.
It blew my mind.
Yeah, because, I mean, everyone I've told doesn't seem to know that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because apparently Jim Farley is maybe not the nicest of guys. I think he always had he was on the track to be this big deal in the Farley family, and apparently he would always call Papa Farley and be like your son's making an ass out of himself on TV again. Tell him to knock that shit off. He would tell him that stuff. John Farley was telling me a story about how he went up to Jim Farley. He's like, Uncle Jim! And Jim was talking to someone, and he comes up to Uncle Jim, and Jim Farley goes, just a second, John. And he finishes his conversation, and he goes, you just interrupted a $500 million deal with Carroll Shelby. What do you need?
What's up, man?
It's just, yeah,
What's up?
dude. So,
crazy.
So I'm going to try to get him on the pod. I don't know if it'll happen or not, because from the interactions that John told me about Uncle Jimmy, he seems like he might not be into it, but at the same time, I'll be like, look, I never really liked Chris that much either. So it's
throw him under the bus immediately. Like, yeah. Same team. Oh,
same team.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I think that would be, I don't know. I think it'd be pretty. If you, now that you know this, go back and watch Jim Farley talking about it, because it his head looks the same. Like the Farley gene, whoever grandfather Farley is, that guy has the strongest genetics of any. I mean, it is like, oh, that's a Farley. That's a Farley.
That's a Farley, bud. Oh yeah.
Go get some cheese curds, bud. We got some Farleys coming over.
That's so good.
Or the slot bag, anyway. But
speaking of throwing people under the bus this
week, throw them. Let's go.
We don't have to spend too much time. Just a quick little update to our fun conversation we had last week about MBS, the FIA president Mohammed Ben Sulayem, throwing ridiculous tweets out into the world, and it's seemingly that the sphere of F1 is not happy with him. And he clearly heard that feedback, mostly from our podcast. I think he listens.
He does. I saw him subscribe. We have one download in the United Arab Emirates every month or every week.
Shout out to MBS. And he this week announced in the most MBS way that he's stepping away from day-to-day interactions and day-to-day operations with F1 specifically, and he's going to hand that off to another guy who will take care of it. Basically saying, the heat got a little too hot, a little too spicy for him, and he needed to take a step back. So he's still obviously the president of the FIA. They take care of so much other stuff. But just a fun little note happening this week that MBS was like, all right, white flag, I surrender. I'm out.
I get it. You know, it'd be funny if Michael Massey came in and was like, look, man, you're really fucking up. And y'all thought I was bad? Look at this guy, just...
And it would have been great if MBS was like, I'm giving up the day-to-day operations to Michael Massey.
Yeah. He's back. And
everyone...
he just comes in with Eminem just playing in the back. Guess who's back? Back again.
Yeah. Shady's back. You can't unlap your friends. And then everyone's, all right, get out of here. Yeah.
So he's still going to be the FIA president, though? Is that correct?
Yeah. His
technically,
job...
by title?
Yeah, his job title is not changing. He's not getting fired. He's just basically handing off duties. He's saying, you're the face of, you get to tweet about stuff and get people are mad at you now. And that's all it is.
And maybe we don't talk about women. How about that?
I mean, let's just keep it, be a normal dude. Stop being crazy.
Look, it's crazy that these women and their brains can figure out how to drive like us. It's so crazy.
I mean, that was the tone, and everyone was like, all right, maybe you just stop, slow.
God.
Someone's hand slowly comes and reaches his phone and takes it from him. So
from off screen, a hook comes in just to pull it up.
Yeah. And who knows who is behind that pressure? Obviously, media pressure. Everyone's like, dude, shut up. But there's so many things at play when someone like that comes in and starts being an idiot, because Liberty Media immediately probably is like, yo, what are you doing? Because it puts a massive fracture in the growth that is Formula One, because motorsport in general, we talk about this all the time. It is this traditional archaic boys club, and they're trying to, change that. F1 coming to America, I don't think people want to dive into F1 for the first time and be like, wait, everyone's just a misogynist asshole about this?
Who's this sexist fucking Arab dude that's yelling at everyone?
Exactly.
It's like, dog.
They're like, what is this? So it's really bad for the sport in general, and this is, I think, their PR mitigating that. So nothing more other than very funny that he fired off. Everyone's like pulling their collar, and then now he's stepping back. So that's it.
Man, I don't know who's won the Mazzy more, him or the actual, Nikita Mazepin himself, or the Ferrari pit wall. I don't know. It's like a three-way tie.
The podium has been the same. It just was back when it was just Valtteri, Max, and Lewis just rotating through the podium places.
Oh man, that's great.
So
well, it has been though. It has been pretty spicy this week though, with all the car announcements.
Yes,
which have been fun. We've had AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull, Haas, and Williams are out. And over these next 4 days, Monday through Thursday, we have new ones releasing. I think we got 5 more coming. I think
McLaren and Aston Martin are tomorrow.
Aston,
Yep. And then I don't have it in front of me, but the rest of the week we have one every week. All the way through until maybe Alpine is the end of the week, but it's going to be good. I've been excited. This is my favorite part of the preseason and like the off season because it's the one time that everyone's excited about graphic design.
Finally, Jeff gets something that he gets horned up about.
Ooh, I'm an expert in this stuff. So most of the time we know this, they do their big launches and everyone gets excited about the aero and the design of the car, which rightfully so, but we all know that most of the time the cars in the launches and the announcements
look totally different.
Yeah. But the liveries are the new thing. And so I got excited about that. It's really fun to see, like Red Bull launches. It's the same thing every year. It's a really good looking car. Their colors hit. It just works. They shouldn't change it.
Red Bull slaps.
It crushes. It's the best. And then cutting to Haas came out with red, black, and white. They, RIP to Russia, figuratively and literally, but they got rid of the blue, and so the blue is gone. So now it is full red, black, and white.
Yeah, again, and it looks good. It looks slick. It looks fast.
Especially with their race suits. The race suits look really nice. They're white with like big hits of the black and red. Yeah. And I would rank that pretty high in the ones that have come out. And then Alfa Romeo is like by far and away the best one so far.
You think so?
Crushed it. I love it. It's so simple. It's half black, half white. And then they have the 4-leaf clover black with like some really beautiful details. Alfa Romeo the last 2 years has been at least one or two the top of my favorite designs. I love them so much.
Wow.
Yeah, they look. I love the way that those cars look, and they have the Italian flag on the back of the rear wing.
Yeah.
Beautiful, simple touches, not overdoing it. That part.
Oh, I see the Italian flag on the back now. Oh, okay. That does look dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it's a bummer no one's going to see it because they're going to be in the back of the pack. But,
well, Max can see it as he's going past.
As he's lapping him. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, just Maylander, the medical car, just staring at it at the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does look sexy though. Now that I see that because I missed that tail. Like the rest of it does look dope. But that's a good touch for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I like how they made Valtteri and Zhou Guanyu be the ones that revealed it. I watched that. They like made their own drivers. Like, look, y'all, you're on salary. Let's get you do some work. We're not hiring chicks to pull this sheet off. You do it.
Yeah, you do it. Earn your your paycheck.
Valtteri's looking like Joe Dirt's cousin right now. Have you seen him right now? He's got a mullet and a mustache.
Dude, he looks amazing. Full bogan, like full Aussie bogan. Like he's crushing it.
He's loving life. He's got a new hot girlfriend. He's in love with her. He's over that bad divorce. He's just living his best life.
Yeah, it's a Valtteri I don't think we've seen before. Like he was never like this at Mercedes.
No,
he just is so laid back. He is now like the mentor to Zhou Guanyu. It's just his vibe is just premium. I love it so much. I love how he's doing. And then all that to say, the most recent announcement was AlphaTauri, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
Also, the announcement was hilariously short. They were just like, "Here's the car, bye."
Thank you, goodbye.
Yeah. And famously, AlphaTauri has great liveries. They have the two-tone with the dark navy and the white, and they haven't messed that up in the last few years. This year, they have Orlen as one of their major sponsors. And as we know with MoneyGram, sometimes those sponsors want their branding on the car.
Yikes.
So AlphaTauri
or
now,
in the logo. I bet look, MoneyGram was able to be in the logo. Why can't we be in the logo?
Why can't we be all over the car? Which is what happened. So now it's very red, white, and blue in a kind of a bad way. The red is a little too hot, and it pops a little too much. And then there's some weird connections, little details that I don't love. I would put this
like on the wheels and on the halo.
Yeah.
It's got red. It just it's obtrusive.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Clunky.
Intrusive. Or I'm not sure what the word I'm looking. I went to a public school, y'all. Sorry, but it's loud. It's visibly loud. It's like, oh, this car looks so sleek. Oh, what's that red? Did someone? Yeah. Did you hit a child on the way here? What is all this red on here?
What I love about the Alfa Romeo is like where the connections are between the two-tone, the colors. You can clearly see those, and they turn that into like a design element, like that big diagonal cut. Feels really cool. Feels fast. Whatever. The Alfa Romeo, the AlphaTauri, the white goes into the top of like the cockpit, and then it so it kind of looks like two pieces of the car have been snapped together just because of the way that the colors are, and it just feels kind of odd to me. All that to say, it's better than most. It is a good looking livery. It will be fine, but the red throws it off a little bit. And the shapes are a little odd. This is me, graphic design person, being like, I don't like this. Anyone who's designing a livery, they're doing a great job. That's awesome.
But if you see them, because like there's this tweet that you see 2022 right next to 2023, and it 2022, you're right. It just looks so smooth. It looks so sleek. It looks so. Right. However, I will say it looks black and white. It looks like monotone or like monochrome. You know what I mean? It's like nothing really pops. Yeah. So the fact that they're like, no, we want to keep red on there and we want to like keep our logo. I guess I get it because boy, do you see their logo? Yeah. Holy shit, do you see their logo? Yeah. And like everything else, it kind of blurred together. But I don't know. Who am I to complain? I'm painting my car purple, so who the fuck am I?
Hell yeah!
It's Daytona Violet. Okay,
it's beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
It's a rich plum.
So, other than the announcements, I'm just looking forward to the rest of this week. The other thing I'm looking
Williams
forward to,
with that big battery too. By the way, sorry to cut you off.
No,
Williams with that big Duracell for the air intake.
I love that. I mean, they've done that for a couple years, but this year, for some reason, people are really calling it out. In a good way. It's good branding. Yeah. It matches to, powers the car. The nonstop, whatever, everlasting battery. It's perfect. It works.
It would tickle me so much if when you opened up the engine compartment, because they don't have a hood, but if you opened up like that, if there's just a painting of the Energizer Bunny in there, just
dude. I mean, honestly, that's a really good advertising spot that they should do. They should pull off the side pods and it's just big AA batteries.
It's just the bunny.
The helmet comes off and it's the bunny and he's the driver. I mean,
that is a phenomenal ad.
Hit us
up. What
do
we do? All right, I'm gonna screenshot this time. We're gonna We're gonna send this to Duracell and we're gonna get Duracell to sponsor our podcast.
Absolutely. All right. It's an easy concept, but it works so well. Also, if we see this ad anytime next year,
I'm gonna be so mad.
I will be a cease and desist will be headed towards.
Yes, because we here at Grid Penalty have lawyers, and we will cease and desist your ass.
Yes, it's just LegalZoom.com in your inbox.
We don't have sponsors, but we got lawyers. All right,
so.
Which
Duracell.
one are you looking forward to? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Duracell, hit us up to be our sponsors, so then we can afford lawyers to then send cease and desist to other companies that will do advertising for us.
I love it.
That's it.
Yeah. So we got 5 more coming up in the next 4 days. Who are you excited for most? I know you're a big McLaren fan.
Yeah, I'm excited for McLaren's car. I think that's going to be nice. They already launched their IndyCar livery, so I think it's going to have
similar
touches of that, which they did last year. Even though the IndyCar livery last year was really nice, all black with the orange hits or the papaya hits. This IndyCar for McLaren is a ton of blue, and so my guess is McLaren will have a lot of blue, which I like in their livery. That looks
good.
Yeah, it's nice.
That McLaren IndyCar for 2023 looks really good. Also, that IndyCar looks fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that car, I can't believe I'm about to say this out loud on a Formula One podcast. I think that car looks better than the Formula One cars.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
It looks like a legit Arrow, and I know they're sponsored by Arrow, but
Yeah.
it looks like a literal Arrow. This thing, I mean, that looks cool as hell.
Yeah. So I hope it looks good. I'm excited for that, and then I also just every year I get excited for Ferrari. I know it's going to be red, but the Ferrari it's always iconic. It always looks good. Sometimes they blow it with like a green logo or a weird black gradient at the back. So we'll see how it goes, but looking forward to Ferrari. Who are you looking forward to? Are you excited for any of the liveries, or do you
I
am.
No, I do for sure. I do love how Ferrari's been like teasing. They're like, breaking news: the Ferrari car will be red.
Yeah,
I do love that. But I am always gonna be excited for Mercedes. I hope they go back to the black design. I think those black cars were so cool.
So cool.
I don't love that they're like really pushing this, like where Lewis is talking about how he wanted to go to black and then we won the world championships and all that stuff. I don't love that because I feel like we're jinxing it. You know what I mean? And or we're putting we saw the season last year. Let's maybe not, feel like, oh, if we go black, we're going to be great. Now you're going to shit on your favorite color now. So I'm a little nervous about that, but I love Petronas green or Petronas, however you pronounce the oil company.
Petronas, the teal.
I love that teal green. That looks so good.
Yeah.
It's kind of the teal that they had at the Miami Grand Prix. Like it was very close to that.
Very Miami.
And I like that. I like that color. I mean, even that logo I had you design for the Roku channel.
Yes.
Very like Miami Vice color. I like that color palette or that swatch.
Yeah.
I think is
especially paired with a silver or a black.
Yeah.
It looks
so good.
It
looks so good.
It's a lot better than a navy and a white and then a big bright red Orland logo. But yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that one probably most, and I think that's coming at the very end too. I think that's the 23rd or something.
Nice. Yeah, man. So liveries are going to be cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Other than that, real quick, who are you excited for driver-wise, young driver-wise? We've had a lot of these announcements. We've seen a lot of their personalities in the off season a little bit.
Yeah.
Who are you like? People like the Nick DeVries, the Logan Sargents, the Oscar Piastris, even like Yuki and Zhou Guanyu. Who are you most excited about?
I mean, I'd say new driver wise, probably Fernando Alonso. I think he's gonna be.
Yes.
I'd love to see him in the new car in his new team. No, I'd be lying if I wasn't excited for Logan Sargent, just because it's gonna be a lot of eyes are going to be on him, and a lot of new fans to the sport. A lot of American eyes are going to be on him, and I feel like he's got a lot of they all have a lot of pressure on them for sure. But it's fun to watch how people handle pressure.
Yep.
And like handle things. Like for example, Zhou Guanyu, I mean I can't express how high of respect I have for him coming off of that wreck and still racing as good as he does.
Yes.
Like that is a true talent right there. I mean, it is, you see so many drivers that get in these big wrecks and then they just are too timid. They're just afraid of that big hit again. And I give him so much credit for coming back and as strong as he did. But I hope for Jan's sake, for our editor's sake,
shout out Jan.
I will give hers because I already know hers. It's Nick DeVries.
Yes.
Which apparently they've been DMing, which is hilarious to me.
I love it so much.
Nick DeVries. I have high hopes for Yuki Tsunoda.
Yes.
I liked him in the beginning because of his spicy attitude behind the wheel. And I didn't get as much yelling this year, which I was kind of upset with. I really wanted more yelling.
Yeah.
But I think that Yuki has I think he's been in this transition. He was really hot-headed, and then he kind of toned it down a bit this year and got his skill better. And I think now it's going to be, he's got a new partner with him because Gasly's gone. And I think that I think he's in a good space to excel this year and next year. So
I agree. That's a great
I
take.
hope he does well, but he's been in it, so he's not a rookie in the league anymore.
Yep.
But I have high hopes for him.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much. I agree with that. I would really love to see Yuki do well.
Yeah.
I want
How
to
about
see
you?
my favorite. I'm really looking for, again, McLaren fanboy. This whole podcast has been, this whole episode has been me
Sponsored by
fanboying.
McLaren.
Yeah, shout out to Zach Brown. Is Oscar Piastri. I'm excited to see what happens with him. Looking forward to just him putting behind him the whole Alpine situation, which obviously will follow him for a long time.
Yeah.
And going head to head with Lando, we saw how it went with Daniel. Like, Daniel was such a tumultuous 2 years for him. Lando has been raised in that car essentially, and I think Piastri will probably come off better than most people think. He won every single junior formula and thing that he was a part of in its first year. So I think the situation that happened at Alpine in the offseason kind of tainted what probably people think of him in a way
That's
that
a good point. Yeah.
won't affect his talent. His talent is the reason why people were trying to steal him from Alpine because he's so good. I'm just excited to see what happens with him. He's the one I'm the most pumped for. So that's it.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Can't wait to see Oscar.
I hope he's not. I hope it's not one of those situations like Jorge Russell where it's hey, he's handicapped by the car.
Yes.
Like, I really hope it's not the case, because Alpine was looking good at the end of the season last year.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but those same expectations rolling into this coming year.
Yep.
And McLaren was not looking good. Lando was doing okay, but the car just didn't seem like it was doing well. I don't know if it was weighed down from all those sponsorship logos or what, but they just weren't performing.
Right.
So I hope for his sake and your sake that he's not handicapped by that car.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You
just
know?
bags of money in the back of the car holding him down. So.
Yeah, for real. So.
Oh, it's good.
But yeah, so let us know what you think, who you're excited about. Hit us up on the DMs. Shoot us over a message to our Instagram page at GridPenaltyF1, because we'd love to see you there, and we're putting up some clips, and you can see what we look like. You can see how beautiful me and Jeff are when I'm in a different background every other fucking recording. It's very confusing. I'm in like a weird like jail cell looking place right now. There's no art on the wall whatsoever.
You're
Jeff's got his Dave clocks in the back, you know.
Yeah. You look like you're in like a Danish prison. Like it's a nice, but there's nothing you can hurt yourself with. But it is nice. They're treating you humanely. So.
Yeah. So no Mazzy this week because we couldn't give it to MBS another time, and we didn't feel like anyone else was blowing it hard enough. So I guess we could give it to Orlean for ruining the AlphaTauri logo.
MoneyGram and Orlean can take it this week for overpowering. But no Mazzy this week.
But have a good week, everybody. We're so excited. We're getting so close to season 2 of our podcast. We forgot to mention this last week. Last week was our 50th episode. Woo! This is 51. So congrats to us, and congrats to you guys. Thanks for sticking with us through all this. This is so cool.
Yeah. We're growing. We're getting better.
We love the growth.
We love it. Give us a review. It obviously helps us. And we're just having fun doing it. So thanks, guys. We really love it.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for following us. Be sure to hit us up on our Instagrams. You can follow Jeff at Jeffrey Tice, GeoffRayTice. You can follow me at I Am Brent Gill. You can watch my comedy special live from Philadelphia on there. Jeff's got an amazing book, The 11 Evelyns. You can pick up on Amazon or on his website. And then check out Kat Orlean and her band, the Moonshine Daredevils, at the Poorhouse in Monrovia on Friday, February 24th at 9 p.m. We love you guys. Be safe out there, and don't hate on purple cars. They're dope as fuck. We
them.
need a purple livery for one of the cars. I think I'm gonna sponsor my own NASCAR or Formula One. What sport am I doing a podcast on? I was distracted by something else because our fucking Zoom is about to end because Zoom can suck a dick right now. Anyway. We love you. Thanks to everybody. Bad ending. We're going to go now. Goodbye. Play the music, Cat. Get us out of here. Goodbye.